And then we can really get to making choices. And this is one of my favorite communication devices. This is called a 32-message communicator.
Boy, do I want to hear this.
I feel content. I would like some animal crackers, please.
Now, what does this require? And again, it's easy to record it. It's easy to update the vocabulary. I feel so lazy.
I feel so lazy.
So as you consider not just the student, but the support services, that's something to consider. Yes. It's called a 32-message communicator. Now this requires some pretty good coordination. You got to be able to hit basically a 2 by 2 inch square accurately. We've got some support though. I've got a key guard on here. So it's gonna last a little bit. So if I need to move, if I've got some coordination issues, like I've got a tremor or I'm hard at pushing stuff, but I can, once I'm resting my hand on a surface, if I can move it with accuracy, and then move a specific finger,
I feel so lazy.
it's pretty easy to use. Now this will only hold this will hold 6 pages worth of information. So we're jumping from 3 things that we can choose from, really to up to 192 things that we can choose from. Now, one thing you want to think about is some of your students may not be able to first handle all 192 messages. Maybe not even every 32 messages. Do I have to use all 32 messages to start off with? No. What I suggest sometimes is if you're starting with 4 or 5 items, have the rest of it printed out, have a plan, and then cover it with black paper and cut out the messages that you want. That way when they grow into another message and you're comfortable with the 4 or 5 and you want a 6th, all you got to do is take a Sharpie, not an X-Acto knife, and go. So this one's called a Tango. This is a dynamic display augmentative communication device. Does that make sense? No. That means the screen is going to change itself. Does that make sense? So I was on a paper display communication device or a static display communication device, and I'm jumping to something that as I interact with it, it's going to change. Now that makes sense? But in this one, it's a nice little communication device. One of the things I do like about it is I can do this.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Oh, not much.
Where are you headed?
4th period.
Then what?
5th period.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's got to happen.
Hey, is that something I want to do?
Go to 5th period? Probably not.
I'm ready.
I'm glad you're ready to go to class.
Let's go over there.
Over there, but we got to go to class.
How about this way?
No, class.
Check that out.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
I agree.
That's cool.
That's what I said. There's another part of communication that you got to think about. A lot of times with a lot of these devices that you'll see, they're asking to go to the bathroom. They're asking for a drink of water. We don't talk like that, do we? What do you guys need? What do you guys do? You're in college. What do you guys got to do when you got to go to the bathroom? How many people go, I need to go to the bathroom? How many of you guys stand up and walk to the bathroom? Yeah. This is for a teenager. So at least this vocabulary set. So as we're talking about communication, we want to talk about appropriate vocabulary and learning that I can never remember the word, that give and take in communication. When we talk with people, we talk, they talk, we talk, they talk, we talk, they talk. Does that make sense? So those are different communication devices. And when you come around, I'll do a little bit more detail. I'm going to go over here to the other part of what I like to do, and that's computer access. Some of the options are really simple. Here's another assistive technology device. These are armrests. If I've got a student who's got difficulty holding his arms up, if they've either got some coordination issues, endurance issues, things along those lines, maybe some armrests would be a good option for them.
Examples of that, the armrest where you can mount it to a table or
Yeah,
mount it to a
this gets mounted onto the table. So I just got a tightening screw. Slides on.
So they're mounting devices.
It is a mounting device, yeah. Usually when I'm thinking mounting, I'm thinking putting something on a screw and keeping it there on a wheelchair and leaving it there. Nice thing about this one is it goes on and off so fast. So if I need to move it between places, it takes me 30 seconds. Software-wise. Another thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at switch access for computers. So if somebody's got some good motions, but they're limited in their mobility, then we may want to look at switch access for a computer.
Basically, it's switches, guys. So if you put it under the technology, it's called switches.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got Word over here, and I've got two different options. My first option for moving, and there are a lot more than these. These are the two options I brought. This is a mouse, you guys. This nice little box. This is a mouse. And the way I've got it set up, at least the last time I set it up, okay, yep, is I can, with one of my switches, I can move my mouse up and down. With my other switch, I'm going to move my mouse left or right. So I can actually navigate my screen completely with just two switches. But I can take those same two switches, put them on a Morse code keyboard. I got to make sure I get my dot in the right place and my dash in the right place. Morse code, though, is designed with the most popular letters being the shortest codes. So one dot is going to be, anybody know? E. One dash is going to be, anybody know? T. And your vowels are going to be shorter codes. They're going to be a dot dash or a dash dash or a dot dash or a dash dot. So, you know, SOS is dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. So with this, I can actually access every key on the keyboard. So there's an E, there's a T, where's my C, and then my space. And I just typed etc. So does that make sense? But with this, if I'm limited in my physical mobility, this is called the Darcy. This was designed for a student up in Davis County. She just was very fortunate to be born in her circumstances to grandparents who were engineers. They own a company called West Test Engineering. And she was born without any arms and legs. Perfectly good body, no limbs. But she had a little bit of a stub. And so she typed like this. I think she's in graduate school, last I heard, up in Oregon. So there's another access method for a computer. Use a standard mouse as for preference. Anybody? You prefer the standard mouse? Good. You guys do? So there are a lot of different options. You guys have got these in front of you if you've got a laptop. This is a trackpad. So if we're using a trackpad on a laptop, the problem with that is it puts the keyboard about that much further away. So if we could use a regular standard keyboard, we can get that much closer to the keyboard. If we've got some mobility problems, that brings us closer, decreases that required range of motion. And then we can use a trackpad. Again, for somebody who may have some mobility restrictions, this may be a good option. For those even for people who've got repetitive stress injuries, this may be a good option for them as well. Another mouse option is this. It's called the Head and Mouse Extreme. This actually tracks, where's my little silver dot? I got a little silver dot on this headband, and this is just a sticker. It can go on their head, can go on their glasses, can go on their chin, can go on the tip of their nose if they want it. But this will track that motion in a plane. So if I'm going like this, guess what'll happen? I'm gonna move my mouse around. This requires no additional software be loaded onto a computer. So if somebody can plug it in and set it up, it should work for them. Again, we're trying to make things easy for the support staff.
What's that called?
Called the Head Mouse Extreme. That may be helpful for a lot of students is word prediction software. So I'm in Word. I'm going to turn my mute off. So when I start to type, watch what happens. So, and count my keystrokes with me. So when I type I, it's going to try and guess my words. So if I press the number 3, in 2 keystrokes, I got 3 keystrokes. In 1 keystroke, I got 3 keystrokes. So what am I at? 3 keystrokes? There's A, B, E, beautiful, S, U, sunny, D, 1, period.
It's a beautiful sunny day.
And I got some auditory support to go along with it. Does that make sense? So for one-handed typists, for individuals with some learning disabilities, this is a great option for them. Because how much of beautiful did I have to figure out? I typed B-E, the rest of the word, beautiful. How about I don't want to go to school today? So that's not going to save me a lot. There's don't want to go to, I'm going to misspell school, S-K-1, today. Oops.
Today. I don't want to go to school today.
So another thing that I've got is I've got some support for misspelling, for being a poor speller. Yes, this is called Co-Writer. It's by a company called Don Johnston. But what are the different things that I got? I got that visual support, and then I've also got an auditory support. So I'm using a multisensory approach to my text. Does that make sense?